ومن طب الزقازيق قطعت مسافة طويلة قوي عشان تيجي النهارده تتكلم عن Adolescents mental health. معانا رغد طارق. اتفضلي يا رغد.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Raghad and I'm a medical student in Zagzag University. I'm representing Zemsa Score. Today I'm going to be talking about a time of our lives that is filled with confusion. It's not working. With confusion, awkwardness, and an all-time urge to burn everything down. It has to move up. An all-time urge to burn everything down. Don't worry about it. So, this is adolescents. Adolescents go from 10 or 12 to 19 or 24 years old. So if you're a college student, you're probably an adolescent as well. But why is it so important to know about adolescence and what happens during this time? Because this is a transitional time in our life. It's character shaping. But you may ask, why is that? Why is it such a transitional time in our life? Because it's filled with changes. Now, what are those changes? It could be biological, physiological, or even psychological and environmental. Now, as we know, adolescents' physical health is at an all-time high. However, that's when mental health problems arise. Okay, first of all, I need to ask you a question before we start. When does your brain completely develop? You're going to go to the link here and use the code 8435375. I'm going to give you 30 to 45 seconds to answer the question. Is it 18 years old, or at 20, or 22, 30, or 40? So I'm waiting for your answers. So I hope your answers are coming in. answers بتاعتهم جاية. Percentages, في percentages كده.
20.
So most of you said 20, and you're going to be surprised at what's coming soon. So let's talk about the biological problems, or the biological changes. So what are the biological, physiological changes happening during this time? First of all, there's a surge in hormones. Hormones go above normal, causing physical changes, causing growth spurts. Now, because of those physical changes, real life experiences change. Now life looks at you differently. It looks at you like an adult because you look like one, even though you might not be one. Another thing, changes happen inside as well. Your brain structures change. Parts of your brain start taking a more dominant role than other parts. Parts of your brain start maturing at different rates than other parts. But this disparity in maturation can cause an inadequate control over your moral, your emotions, and your overall mood, causing what we know adolescents for, mood swings. So next time you feel like you're losing control and you're confused about your feelings, don't blame yourself. Take it easy. It's normal. And in fact, your brain structures do not completely develop until you're 20 years old. So most of you are actually right. Other changes are psychological changes. During this time, you start to develop abstract thinking. You don't think about thoughts related to tangible objects. No, now you can think about concepts for themselves, freedom and religion for what they actually are. You also develop introspection and self-reflection. You can look into yourself, look at your actions and your thoughts, and judge for yourself if they're right, if they're wrong, and why are you feeling it. You also develop perspective, morals, and values for yourself. You can even respect others' perspectives and view of life. And lastly, which causes a lot of tension between adolescents and their parents, is your desire for independence and autonomy. Now, you don't want to longer listen to your parents telling you what's right and what's wrong and what to do. You can do it for yourself. So you want to be independent. Lastly, environmental and social changes. As we know, during this time, since we are growing, our relationships go on a deeper level. Our relationships with our parents and our families, we can see them for who they are. They're not those idealized superheroes. They're human beings who make mistakes. And that may come as a shock to you sometimes, and it can be hard to take in. Along with that, your friendships. Now, you're an adolescent who's feeling vulnerable and unstable, trying to feel validated, surrounded by other adolescents who are feeling the same. Now, they could pressure you into doing things you don't want to do, and that's kind of dangerous and can affect your character. Lastly, your access to technology and social networks increases. This increased access to technology can cause a disparity or a gap between reality and fantasy. You're seeing people's manipulated and filtered out lives for a long period of time. Even if you know it's not real, it can still affect you. Now, with all of those changes, shaking up your life, turning everything upside down, surely your mental health will be affected. Okay, your mental health will be affected, and you'll find yourself vulnerable to many things. But before talking about adolescents' mental health issues, I need to ask you a question for your own sake. And that is, what do you want most right now? Do you want satisfaction and peace? Do you want more sleep or less stress? Go to the link and enter the code 8435375. I'm going to wait for your answers for the next 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, the code is 8435375. You can enter and answer. Just say, what do you need most right now? For me, to be honest, right now I need more sleep, to be honest. So I'm not sleeping that well. Anyway, I hope your answers came in, and I hope you all said what you want. Let's talk about adolescents' mental health issues and what dangers are we vulnerable to. So as we just said, your desire for independence, along with your lack of wisdom and lack of experience, which is so natural, puts you in situations where you can just go and take risks. That could be substance abuse or being vulnerable to violence, whether it may be gang violence, domestic violence, or even sexual violence. Another thing about adolescents' mental health issues is that half of mental health issues develop at the age 13, and 75% of mental health issues will have developed by the age 24, which kind of makes sense because if you look at it, adolescence is a minefield of mental health issues. In fact, 10 to 20% of adolescents experience mental health conditions, and the most common one of all, anxiety, and depression comes after. Along with emotional mental health issues comes eating disorders, which are most common in females. It could be bulimia, anorexia, or even binge eating disorder because of the distorted image they have of themselves and the vulnerability they feel. Also, conduct or behavior disorders start appearing like ADHD, because if a child has ADHD, it's not very apparent because they're just children. It's normal for them to be inattentive. However, when you're an adolescent expected to act like an adult and you're inattentive, it can form a problem. Anyway, all of those mental health issues shouldn't take over your life. You can actually deal with them with protective measures. First of all, the basics is to form interpersonal skills, know how to set boundaries, know how to communicate with others, have a healthy lifestyle, sleep well, eat well, and just be active. But with that, we need a more conscious effort, and that is to strengthen your ability to manage your emotions. As we said, you have mood swings, you can't control your emotions. So what are you going to do? Identify your emotion, accept it, know where it's coming from, what is causing it, how do you deal with it, and lastly, understand and believe that this emotion is transient. It's going to go away like any other emotion. Another thing is find alternative to risky ventures and unhealthy coping mechanisms. You can talk to people about how you're feeling, or you can even find hobbies that are going to totally grow you as a person. Another thing is promote supportive environments. Surround yourself with a group of supportive people and positive people, and be empathetic to yourself so that you can create this supportive environment. Lastly, because adolescents are the least likely to seek mental health help, or medical help early. Because if you don't seek it early, you're going to carry it from adolescence to adulthood, and you don't want to do that. Lastly, and the most important of all, be kind. Be kind to yourself and to others. Be patient with yourself and forgiving and with others. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you at least learned one thing, and have a good rest of your day.